All right, get ready to dive deep into Nollywood news. We've got a whole stack of fresh articles from justmania.com. And let me tell you, things are getting spicy. From relationship drama to like really bold career moves. We're even seeing some serious soul searching happening within the industry itself. So yeah, buckle up because Nollywood, as always, does not disappoint.
It's so true. And you know what really strikes me? It's like these stories, they go way beyond just like the surface, the glitter of the industry. You know, it's like we're getting a window, a real window into how complex fame can be, but also like the cultural landscape of Nigeria and the very human struggles these stars are facing.
I totally agree. Okay, so let's jump right in. And I think we got to start with some of the controversy. Brani Bogu, he's calling out his fellow actors. He's basically accusing them of, well, fake love and hypocrisy.
That's interesting.
What's your take on this? Is it just like a personal spat? Or could this be hinting at something deeper about how the whole industry operates, the culture?
Well, the way he's framing this as fake love is really interesting to me because it suggests that there's this performative aspect to how relationships work within Nollywood, right? Like maybe there's all this pressure to project a certain image, and not just on screen, but off screen too.
That's true.
And I think that kind of pressure cooker environment, it could lead to situations where, genuine connections get overshadowed by professional rivalries, or even just the need to maintain a certain public persona.
And that whole pressure thing, it's definitely amplified by social media, wouldn't you say?
Okay.
It brings us to John and Jama, right?
Yeah.
He's making headlines because he's saying that actors should be cast based purely on talent and not their Instagram follower count. What do you think? Is this just a Nollywood problem? Or are we seeing this trend kind of bleed into the whole entertainment world?
I think Njama's statement is tapping into a much broader anxiety. We're living in the age of influencers, right? And it makes you wonder, is raw talent actually being overshadowed by the allure of a massive online following? You have to ask yourself, are casting decisions these days, are they really being driven by genuine artistic vision anymore? Or is it all about like the potential for viral marketing?
It's a really good question. And honestly, this whole debate, it makes Mummy Wad's recent experience even more disturbing. For those who haven't heard, she very bravely shared her story about experiencing sexual harassment within Nollywood.
It's awful.
And it's a stark reminder that this is a systemic problem. It's not just a few bad apples, unfortunately.
Yeah, and sadly, it seems like no industry is truly immune to these kinds of problems. What's crucial now, I think, is that we move beyond just awareness. We have to move into action. So, what concrete steps can Nollywood take to actually create a safer, more equitable environment for everyone? And how can we empower individuals to feel like they can speak up without fear of retaliation?
These are the tough questions that we need to be asking. Okay, so let's shift gears just a little bit, and let's talk about relationships. Mercy Agne's decision to become a second wife, it sparked a ton of conversation, but she's been very open about her reasons. She even cites shared professional goals with her husband.
Yeah.
How do you think this reflects, evolving social norms in Nigeria?
I think her story really challenges how we in the West traditionally view polygamy. Because it's important to understand the cultural context here, right? In some parts of Nigeria, polygamy isn't just accepted, it's seen as a practical arrangement, especially within certain social circles.
Right.
So Mercy Egbe's openness about her choice, I think it could encourage more nuanced conversations about these, complex marital structures.
And speaking of relationships, we can't forget about Charles Okocha. He just had this absolutely breathtaking traditional wedding. The photos are stunning, like full of these vibrant colors and elaborate outfits.
They really are.
It's a great reminder of, the
I completely
rich
agree. And these celebrations, there's so much more than just a ceremony. They're a vibrant expression of cultural identity. The symbolism, the music, the attire, all of it tells a story. And it offers audiences this glimpse into the beauty and the depth of Nigerian traditions.
It's so beautiful. And, it's interesting how Nollywood, it kind of seamlessly blends joy and sorrow, both on screen and in real life, right? We have Tayo Gaga, she's celebrating the arrival of her first child. But then, at the same time, you have Jerry Amilo, who just buried his daughter shortly after reuniting with her. These stories, they really tug at your heartstrings.
Life is definitely like that, isn't it? Full of these bittersweet moments. It reminds us that we have to cherish the happy times. We have to find strength in the face of loss. And I think Nollywood, in many ways, it reflects that duality, that back and forth. By offering stories that resonate with the full spectrum of human experience.
I like that, the full spectrum. And speaking of life's journeys, we have Bimbo Akintola. She's choosing to remain unmarried at 54. And after losing her soulmate, She's made it clear that she won't settle for anything less than true love, which, kind of defies societal expectations in the process.
I find it so refreshing to see someone so confidently charting her own course, because her story, it challenges this whole idea that marriage is like a universal aspiration or a marker of fulfillment. It's about finding happiness on your own terms, and whether that involves a partner or not, it's her choice.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's dive into the highs and lows of Nollywood careers for a bit, starting with Carolina Hutchings. She's making waves with this statement that talent, not looks, is the key to her success. What do you think? Do you think that message will resonate with aspiring actors and actresses?
Her words are so powerful, especially in an industry that can be so superficial, right? Like, it's so easy to get caught up in appearances, especially in a field like acting. But what Caroline is doing is she's reminding us that lasting success, it's built on substance, on honing your craft and bringing something unique to the table.
It's a good reminder.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're also seeing the darker side of fame. With Eniola Ajao's confession that she almost poisoned herself because of all the false news that was spreading online about her.
Oh, that's just heartbreaking.
It's a chilling reminder of the mental toll that this industry can take on.
It really is. And, this story, it exposes how vulnerable even successful people are to the toxic effects of online rumors and cyberbullying. It highlights the need for, responsible media consumption and for supporting those who were targeted by these malicious attacks. We need to create a culture where spreading false information is not only condemned, but actively challenged.
I'm with you on that. And then we have Ronke Usanya's story about a friend allegedly sabotaging her marriage. It's disturbing, and it seems like navigating friendships in such a competitive industry, well, it can be a minefield.
It really can. It's a reminder that fame and fortune, they don't shield you from the complexities of human relationships, unfortunately. Trust and loyalty can be tested, especially in a world where ambition and envy often collide.
That's true.
And this story, I think it really underscores the importance of building a genuine support system, people you can truly rely on, both inside and outside the industry.
So important. Well, we're about to delve into some health challenges that some Nollywood stars are facing. But first, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back to continue our deep dive into the world of Nollywood news. We're back, ready for more Nollywood news. And this time, we're going to focus on some of the health challenges that some stars are facing. Euphoma McDermott. She recently opened up about her 12-year battle with kidney disease. It's a long time. What struck you about her story?
Well, I think it's incredibly brave of her to share such a personal struggle, because her transparency does something really important. It not only raises awareness about kidney disease, but it also helps to destigmatize it. These chronic illnesses, they're often fought silently.
That's true.
And so when you hear someone like Euphoma McDermott speaking out, it can really empower others to seek help and support.
Absolutely. And it's not just physical health that's being discussed more openly these days. Joseph Benjamin, he's known for his captivating on-screen presence. But he revealed that he actually almost took his own life.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's a powerful reminder that mental health struggles, they can affect anyone. It doesn't matter how successful you seem on the outside.
That's such an important point. His story, it really underscores the importance of removing that stigma around mental health, especially within a high-pressure industry like Nollywood, right? It takes so much courage to speak up about that kind of deeply personal struggle. And hopefully his honesty will encourage others to seek help when they need it.
I hope so too. Sadly, we also have to acknowledge the passing of two very prominent figures in Nollywood. Charles Iliwo, he was better known as Agbako. He died recently at the incredible age of 102.
102, wow.
I know, he leaves behind an incredible legacy.
He really does. His longevity is remarkable both in life and in his career. He was a true pioneer of Nigerian cinema, entertaining generations with his talent. And what's so fascinating to me is how he bridged the gap between traditional Yoruba theater and the burgeoning world of Nollywood. I mean, he left an undeniable mark on both.
He really did. And unfortunately, there's been another tragic loss, this time a much younger talent. Director Dimeji Ajibola. He was known for his work on Shantytown, and he passed away suddenly.
I was so sad to hear that.
What impact did his work have on Nollywood, would you say?
Well, I think Ajibola, he represented a new wave of filmmakers in Nollywood. He wasn't afraid to tackle really complex social issues and to push those creative boundaries. Shantytown in particular, with its gritty realism and that nuanced portrayal of Lagos, it really captivated audiences.
It did.
So his passing, it's a huge loss for the industry, especially at such a pivotal moment in his career.
It really is. Okay, so let's round out our deep dive with some, I guess, lighter highlights. Yvonne Jaged, her dedication to her craft is seriously impressive. She shaved her head. and even learned Yoruba for a recent film role. Now, that's commitment.
That's going above and beyond. I think it says a lot about the depth and dedication of many Nollywood actors. I mean, she could have easily just worn a wig or relied on dubbing, right? But she chose to fully immerse herself in the role. And that demonstrates a level of authenticity that's just so inspiring.
It really is. Okay, and I had to share this amusing anecdote. Davido's cousin, he had this hilarious run-in with Chinedu Ikediz, the actor known as Aki. You know him?
Of course.
It's just a fun reminder that even celebrities, they get starstruck.
Those unexpected moments of human connection are so great, aren't they? It shows that despite all the fame and fortune, these actors are still relatable. They're capable of being fans themselves. It adds a touch of warmth to the whole industry. It reminds us that at the end of the day, they're just people, navigating life's ups and downs like the rest of us.
So true. But let's get back to some maybe slightly more serious topics. Zane Bishop, he's been very vocal about his criticism of the rise of plastic surgery in Nollywood. It's a conversation that's happening across a lot of industries these days. But it seems particularly relevant to a field like acting, right? Which is so visually driven.
Yeah, I see what you mean. His critique is raising some important questions about body image and the pressure to conform to certain beauty standards. I mean, is there a risk that actors, especially young and impressionable ones, are feeling pressure to alter their appearance to fit a mold, rather than embracing their own individuality? It's a really complex issue with no easy answers, but it's a conversation that needs to be had.
For sure. And then we have Amara Maduka. She's definitely pushing some boundaries with her outspoken advocacy for sex toys. She's challenging those traditional views on sexuality and pleasure.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's bound to generate a lot of discussion.
And that's a good thing. Her willingness to address a topic that's often considered taboo, it's commendable. It speaks to a growing movement in Nigeria, I think, to challenge societal norms and encourage open dialogues about sexuality.
Yeah.
It's about empowering individuals to explore their own desires and preferences without any shame or judgment.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the celebratory to the somber and everything in between. It's clear that Nollywood, it's much more than just entertainment. It's a reflection of Nigerian society as a whole, grappling with social issues, personal struggles, cultural shifts. What are your final thoughts on what the future holds for Nollywood?
It really is, and I think Nollywood right now, it's at this fascinating crossroads. On one hand, it's gained global recognition, right? And streaming platforms, they've opened up all these new avenues for distribution. Plus, you have this younger generation of filmmakers, and they're coming in with fresh perspectives. But then on the other hand, Nollywood is also facing these serious challenges like piracy, funding limitations, and the constant pressure to cater to both local and international audiences.
It does feel like Nollywood is like on the verge of this breakout moment, like it's poised to captivate an even wider audience.
Yeah.
But as you said, there are definitely obstacles to overcome. So what do you think will be like crucial for Nollywood's continued growth and evolution?
Well, investing in infrastructure is key for sure. I mean, better equipment, training facilities, and really strong support for emerging talent. And tackling piracy head on, that's going to be vital to make sure that filmmakers can actually reap the rewards of their hard work. But honestly, I think perhaps the most exciting aspect is the storytelling itself. Nollywood has this unique ability to connect with audiences on a really emotional level, weaving together these relatable narratives with such a vibrant cultural element.
That's all right.
So if it can maintain that authenticity while also embracing innovation, well, the possibilities are just limitless.
I love that. We've seen such a range of emotions in these stories today. Joy, sorrow, resilience, ambition. It's a good reminder that Nollywood is more than just like glitz and glamour. It's a mirror, reflecting the realities of Nigerian life, the dreams, the struggles, the indomitable spirit of the people.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so compelling, right? It's not afraid to tackle these really complex social issues or explore cultural nuances and challenge conventional narratives. Whether it's through, romantic comedies, hard-hitting dramas, historical epics, Nollywood offers this lens through which we can understand Nigeria's past, present, and future.
I think we've only scratched the surface today, but I think it's safe to say that Nollywood is a force to be reckoned with. It's a testament to the power of creativity, the allure of storytelling, and the enduring spirit of Nigerian culture. So what stands out to you as the most memorable story from this deep dive? Share your thoughts online using the hashtag #NollywoodDeepDive. We'd love to hear your perspective. And join us next time as we explore another fascinating topic. Until then, keep exploring, stay curious, and as they say in Nollywood, lights, camera, action.